Welcome to Scrapbooking 101, where I'm going to show you the details of the best gift I've ever given and the process of how to make one. Put your camera roll to use, pick up a creative hobby, and start scrapbooking. We are going to start off with a scrapbook tour. This is a book I made for my boyfriend for our first anniversary, and looking through it brings me right back. My first page is just a little introduction, happy anniversary, and a little love note. I typically try to avoid writing with my handwriting just because I'm a perfectionist and handwriting's not perfect, but sometimes it really does hit. I'm obsessed with this pink aesthetic. I think it's perfect. The florals, the wedding bells, I think it's so cute. And the textures. Love the textures and the layering on this one. I do not use those flowers a lot. I probably should. My boyfriend started out as my client, so the next page is just pictures of the tattoos I did on him and a list of the appointment dates. This was my first page that I made. My intro page I actually made last. I'm not in love with this page, gotta tell ya. It is a hot mess. I did not know what I was doing. Not a fan. Then we have a page of our first date. Some of the purples don't really match with the others, but it was very monumental, and I'm glad that I have a page for it. This is our first date day. Not only am I inconsistent with the lettering, but a lot of these blues don't go well together at all. Yeah. Nonetheless, it still brings me back to that day, which was really fun. Moving on to a set of pages that I actually love. These pages have our first pictures together and pictures of his dogs. I think the clovers are perfect. It's just so cute and the concept is adorable. I don't know where I got it from, but feel free to steal it. So innocent, I'm obsessed. Love. The next pages I'm not a big fan of either. I don't think one side matches the other very well. The flower page was obviously just filler. The idea was to have that page be flowers that he got me throughout the year, but I don't have that written down anywhere, and I probably should have. Definitely not a fan of these blues. Whew, maybe not. Oh my god, these pages in my top 3 for this book, in my top 3 of all time probably. I love them. I think the leaf stickers carry. I love the lettering. I love the colors. I think sometimes black backgrounds can be really crazy. I love the star mesh backgrounds. I love the little Halloween cutouts that I made. The one thing that really makes me upset is how the eyes didn't hold. I did white gel for the eyes and then black gel on top, and they all just melted together. So I'll have to find a solution for that. But in general, I just give this like a 9.8 out of 10. Love these. This is when I really was like, this is how I should be scrapbooking. Like, yeah. The next pages are of the Halloween party we went to that year. I really like the pink, gray, raspberry, black vibe. I think that's cute. The only thing that really bothers me is the fact that I use this cross that's way too thick. I use the crosses from our costumes, and they are too thick so the book doesn't close, which is a really big problem. I can't be laying the scrapbook flat, which I really shouldn't be anyway, but now I really can't. Some of my stickers are peeling off. This is the night that we made Christmas cookies. Some of my stickers are pretty old, so they are peeling. I believe some of these are like 20 years old. I think these pages are pretty solid, aside from the fact that I didn't do any borders. Maybe a thin textured white paper would have been good, but they're okay. These pages are okay. This was my first real-time experimenting with the white gel pens. Now that I've used metallic backgrounds a few times now, I think I'm going to lean away from them unless they're for borders. They change a lot in the light and it makes everything very hard to read. So a couple things about this one. I think the lettering is really crazy. I think the only reason that it works somewhat is because there's a puzzle theme. At least that's how it makes sense in my mind. In general, I do think the colors are giving January, and also very important to know, I incorporated receipts. I am aware that over time, the ink from receipts will fade. I should probably look into that. As of now, this book is almost 2 years old. They're holding up pretty well. Okay, the Valentine's Day pages, so cute, a very good time. I'm obsessed with the heart stickers. I'm obsessed with the layered lettering. Perfect. And also this thank you note opens and it has a list of a bunch of promises that I made to him. I do wish that I incorporated borders. I feel like that is a theme here, but in general. These are the pages of his 21st birthday. I'm not a big fan of the purple that I used. Purple is his favorite color, so I also included a letter that I wrote to him, and it's just huge. I think it's overpowering, but if I didn't put it in here, I would have thrown it out. So there's that. Moving on to another winter set, we have Furry Fun. These are some more animals from his family. I think the pictures of our backs are a little weird to show to family. As for design, I think the colors go really well together. I incorporated some of that silver border. Not bad. Very complimentary to the puppy love pages. The next set is also part of my top 3. I think it's very spring, captures our energy. I love the floral. I love the background color. I think it's one of my favorite colors of all time. Honestly, no complaints. I know that I don't have any borders for any of the photos, but I don't think that it needs it. I'm obsessed with the Doro lettering. Very minimal, very cohesive, no complaints. Next set. It is obvious to me that one of them is a filler page. I think the lettering takes up way too much. It's very childish. I do like that I have gems on both sides, but aside from that, not really going well together. The maroon and the purple. I do, however, love the 110 Girl page. If our pictures weren't so good, it probably wouldn't have been so great. These are probably my favorite pages I have ever made to this day. I think they're perfect. They scream summer. I love the colors. I think everything's cohesive. I don't think the blue is crazy. It just has all of my favorite things. I love the die cuts. I think the ants are perfect. You know, it has that bright blue ice cream, mini golf, arcade. This was one of my favorite dates with him, and these pages really are perfect. Like, they're perfect to me. I am so happy that we spent however much money it was to get that photo strip, because it's iconic. It's iconic. Every couple needs a photo strip. So good. No, yeah, I'm obsessed. We are closing in on the end. These pages are very different from one another, but I don't think that they're clashing. I think the beach stickers are perfect. And also, this was my first time kind of doing like a sticker border, I think. The waves at the bottom, I will definitely be doing that again. I have so much to do. The other page is very cute as well. I love the textured paper with all of the ornamental work. I think that's beautiful. The envelope with the S on it are all the letters he wrote to me. The envelope with the M on it has all of the letters I wrote to him. I do believe that because I incorporated that page, the scrapbook as a whole is something that I wouldn't want to leave in the hands of somebody else, just because I don't want everyone to be reading our love letters. Like, that's intrusive. But I do love the concept. I feel like I've said so cute so many times, but I'm not lying. Please take this idea and use it. And then the last page is very simple. I'm obsessed with the colors. I'm obsessed with the different cuts. The fact that I cut off the corner of 2 of the pages, it just makes it very different. I'm so glad that I used my own handwriting. I love this book so very much. It was well worth the 90 hours that I spent making it. Okay, now it's time for tips so you can make the perfect scrapbook yourself. I'm just going to start with a list of things that you'll need. Album covers, obviously. I get mine from Creative Memories, and I stick to a 12 by 12. Pages and page protectors are something that you can get from Creative Memories as well. For photos, I just print mine at CVS, and I've never checked out without using a discount code, so I highly recommend. It's like super important that you don't get shy about taking photos all throughout the year, because you never know what you'll need. I think it's super important that you're keeping receipts, letters, tickets, and other flat memorabilia all throughout the year. Tape runners and glue runners are something that you are going to fly through if you scrapbook. I think it's also important to have precision craft glue with you as well. I used that for things like the flowers on the first page and gems all throughout. That would not have worked well with a tape runner. Colored cardstock is what I use for all of my backgrounds. I try not to use super thin paper. I think cardstock is perfect. Textured paper, I've mentioned it probably 12 times throughout this video. I got a lot of mine on Amazon actually, but textured paper is perfect for borders and it's perfect for layering. Stickers will carry your scrapbook, and I have noticed that there's not as many good stickers right now as there used to be when I was a kid, which is very sad. I think it's important to have letters and number stickers, big and small. You'll definitely need mini letter stickers. Flowers, absolutely. Shapes is important as well for all of the little diamonds and some of the hearts and some of the circles. Those can be some of the cutest accents. I think that a lace sticker roll is not necessary, but it can elevate a page and give you another option. And then sticker bundles is crucial, especially when it comes to holidays or traveling or sports. Getting some of those bundles is going to be necessary, and I think some of the best ones I've seen are from Creative Memories, or TikTok Shop honestly has a lot of good ones. Die cut letters are becoming very hard to find. I'm honestly getting worried. I absolutely think they're necessary, and I'm gonna have to find a solution quick, and when I do, I will let you know. Or if you have one, let me know. Pointed tweezers, like tiny little tweezers, not the flat ones, the pointed tiny ones, put it in your cart. Put it in your cart. They will be your best friend. I think having a paper trimmer is really important, especially for cutting photos. When it comes to having to cut my cardstock, I just use scissors and a ruler and a pencil, but a paper trimmer can be really helpful. Punches are a nice accessory. I don't think that they're super necessary. For example, I think they elevated my Halloween pages 100%. So I think that they're a good investment if you can afford to make it. Washi tape is another good accessory. I don't think that it's super needed, but it can give you a nice border. Whether that's a border on a photo or a border on a full page, adds you a nice pop of color. The ones that I use are pretty thin, so you might have to use a lot of layers, so just keep that in mind. And then small gems, as I've mentioned a few times, and gel pens. I only write with gel pens. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Those are like all of the essentials that I can think of. Obviously, when it comes to storage, that's a whole different story. I am currently in the middle of building a scrapbook station at my parents' house, but it's a bit chaotic, and I don't see that being done anytime soon. I haven't scrapbooked in a little while because where do I do it right now? I just moved. It's very challenging. Major disclaimer, my mom used to be an independent consultant for Creative Memories, and she truly invested in a lot of their products. So this is no cheap hobby, and it requires a lot of time and effort, but I think that it's so worth it. Personally, the only times in my life where I feel like my mind can slow down are when I'm tattooing or crafting or making art of some sort. And in my opinion, scrapbooks are the most meaningful and most nostalgia-inducing craft you can make. My general tips when it comes to beginning scrapbooking: lay out your pages before you start doing anything permanent. You should not be gluing until you get a general idea of what your pages are going to look like, how many you're going to have, and maybe even thinking of some details ahead of time. In my scrapbooking series, the first step that I always do is my layout. I think it's super important. It takes up a lot of time, and you might feel like you didn't make a ton of progress, but trust me, it is the way to go. Having the proper music and the proper drink will get you through a lot as well. There have been times where I've scrapbooked for like 10 hours straight, and I know a lot of people have me beat on that. You gotta be in the zone, you gotta make your own piece, make it fit your vibe. I think it can also be really helpful to have a deadline. I have well exceeded the deadlines that I set myself. I'm currently trying to make 1 to 2 scrapbooks a year, and I'm super behind. I am going to link my Amazon storefront in the description below. I always do. But I'm going to try to link some of my scrapbooking TikToks in specific so you can get ideas or learn from my mistakes and just see my general process. That is everything I planned on sharing for Scrapbooking 101. Obviously, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. With that being said, thank you for watching and see you next time.